top three things that you need to watch out for when you're getting a property from each of you. Let's start with you, Janet.
Okay, I think a lot of people will go with their emotion, which is typically they will go with their most relatable and comfortable location, a place like they grew up in, or where they studied, or where they spend a lot of their time in. So naturally, they will be looking at that specific location. It's like, oh, because I like here, because it's so comfortable. So if you're looking for, I mean, I understand that when you're looking for own stay, but if you're looking for something for investment purposes, I strongly encourage you to not let your personal attachment to a certain location that limit you to just that certain place, because that can really keeps your options very limited, and there could be something better that is out of your comfortable location, and you might actually miss out a very good opportunity. And also, I see some investor buyers actually, place their buying checklist based on their future retirement, which is quite common. They will come in with, oh, I'm going to buy this home for rental first, and eventually when I'm older, I will come here to stay. I know it's quite a logical train of thought to do this. You buy a retirement home to keep, and eventually you will need it. But I find that the runway, if it's going to be in a 20 or 30 years window, your needs could change, and the property market can change. So that investment property may not remain as resilient if you plan based on, oh, I like this layout, I'm going to stay here when I'm 70 years old. So it doesn't necessarily work. So are you going to have a property that is going to be on a deficit sort of investment, and then when you're 65 or 70, you come in and stay as a retirement home? So that window of the 20, 30 years, that investment, if it doesn't make sound return for you, does it make sense for you? So this is something to consider. And also at the same time, for those who are looking at property purchasing, be it own stay or investment, and you're just mainly focused on PSF, I think PSF is just something that has been commonly used among the media or in the property lingo. Oh, when you buy something, please make sure the PSF is cheap. But always remember, cheap in what sense? And always stress test that number.
When you are looking out for a property, most people fail to look at what is outside the house. The neighborhood and the landscape is indeed important. So as a feng shui practitioner, I don't just come to your house and look at your place. I look at the entire surrounding environment even before I visit your space. So knowing where you are living, the surrounding environment, like you're living near a noisy area, are you living near a huge canal? Are you living near, construction sites? All these are factors of consideration because they have major impacts when we actually measure reference point to your space. And the thing is, I know that, it can be a financial constraint for people to just buy a bigger space. But then again, you really need to consider your needs and wants and to understand what are your priorities. Instead of just focusing on your finance, if your health is getting into trouble, what finance are we looking at? You can make all the money you want, but you won't have the health to spend it. So that evenness is important. The other thing is, when we are using this infrastructure and this modern living, more and more people are loading their space with electronic gadgets. So these are the time where you also want to consider people who are going to live in smart homes, people who put in all this. How is this going to take a toll on your health? For sure, without you paying attention, you are already living in a microwave world, right? You are being baked all the time without you knowing it. Hence, the dehydration that takes place is going to compromise your immune system. So when designing, when working things out, when you buy a home, you do want to take all this into consideration. So the more you declutter, we will say less is more. If you don't have the luxury for a bigger house, then I think decluttering is the key, for you to live better.